To be able to get the answer, first, we must copy the second equation, the proportion of the fish. So, P of T equals 31 over 31 plus T. We must multiply 31 by the number of fish, which is 300. So, when we multiply it, the answer is 9,300 over 31 plus T. And then, we must copy the first equation. 3 plus T minus 0.05 T squared, parentheses. And so, the answer in letter A, the expected yield is this. (9,300) over 31 plus T, 3 plus T minus 0.05 T squared. To graph this, to graph the 0 is less than or equal to 1, 1 is less than or equal to 10, this is how it goes. This is what it looks like. Letter B, when is the expected yield y of t the largest? To be able to get this, we must first derive from the equation. Get the derivative. Y of t equals 1,300 over 31 plus t. 1 minus 0.1 t plus 3 plus t minus 0.05 t square bracket negative 9,300 over 31 plus t squared. Derivative of t equals 9,300 over 31 plus t bracket 1 minus 0.1 t minus 3 minus t plus 0.05 t squared all over 31 plus t bracket. Then, 9,300 over 31 plus t bracket 31 plus t minus 0.1 t 31 plus t minus 3 minus t plus 0.05 t square all over 31 plus t equals 9,300 over 31 plus t square 31 plus t minus 3.1 t minus 0.1 t square minus 3 minus t plus 0.05 t square. So, we must perform this operation. And then, 9,300 over 31 plus t square equals negative 0.05 t square minus 31 t plus 28. We will use quadratic formula in order to get the answer. So, as we all know, quadratic formula is negative b, positive negative, the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So we must substitute these values to this formula. And then we may get t equals 8 and t equals negative 70. Since that what is as is about weeks, so we must get the positive value. So the final answer is 8 weeks. It is the expected yield to be the largest. And another part of the question, what is the maximum? To be able to get the maximum, we must go back to the first equation. So, y8 equals 9,300 over 31 plus 8, 3 plus 8 minus 0.05, 8 square equals 9,300. 31 plus 8 equals 39. And then 39 over 5. Cancel 39 and then 9,300 divided by 5 equals 1,860 pounds. So the maximum is 1,860 pounds.
First step is find the first derivative of this equation, which is the output rate. So the output rate is equal to Q prime of T is equal to negative 3 T squared plus 9 T plus 15. This is the output rate. We also need to find the second derivative, which is negative 6T plus 9. After getting the second derivative, we now we must get the TRs, which is we need to find the second derivative. So Q prime of T is equal to negative 6T plus 9. In finding the TRs, we need to square negative 6T plus 9, which is negative 6T squared is equal to 9. T is equal to 3 over 2, which is T is equal to 1.5. So according to the problem, the morning shift is from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. So the time interval is 0 to 4. This 0, 4, and 1.5 are the numbers that will substitute to the first equation to find the most efficient and least efficient time in the morning. So for the 0, just substitute 0 in the first equation, which will result in 15. For the 4, substitute 4 to the first derivative, or for the equation, which results to 3. And for the 1.5, substitute 1.5 to the equation, which will result in the 21.75. So according to the results, the highest is the 1.5, which is 21.75. So 1.5 is the time where the worker
the graph or sales curve of x is greater than or equal to 0. This is the graph. We assume a number, so we come out with this coordinate, 0 and 10. So y is equals to 50. The question is, how many youths will be sold if no money? Said that no money is spent on advertising. So we don't have any value to substitute to x. And because e raised to negative 0.1 x 0, it is constantly be 1. E will be 1, so it will be cancelled. The only equation here is q of x is equals to 50 minus 40. 50 minus 40 is equals to 10. But in the question, it said that x is equals to $1,000. So 10 here will be multiplied to 1,000, and it will be equal to $10,000. So $10,000 or 10,000 units will be sold if no money is spent on advertising. This is our equation. Q of 8 is equals to 50 minus 40 e raised to negative 0.1 times 8. We use 8 because in the question, the given is 8,000. The answer in this equation, first equation, will be Q of 8 is equals to 32.0268. If we round off this number, the answer will be 32.027. But in the question, it is said that x is equals to $1,000. So if we multiplied this number into 1,000, the answer will be Q of 8 is equals to 32,027. This is our final answer. Letter D. How much should be spent on advertising to generate sales of 35,000 units? From the equation, Q of x is equals to 50 minus 40 e raised to negative 0.1x, we come out with this solution. 35 is equals to 50 minus 40 e raised to 0.1x, it is negative. 35 from the given in the question, 35,000 units. Like in letter C, we use 8,000 as Q of x. Next, we transpose 50 to 35. It will be negative 50 plus 35 equals to negative 40 e raised to negative 0.1x. To simplify this one, it will be negative 15 equals to negative 40 e raised to negative 0.1x. And then, we divide both sides by 40. Negative 40. Equals to 3 over 8 e raised to negative 0.1x. Then, to cancel e, it will be ln 3 over 8 equals to negative 0.1x. So, our objective is to get the value of x. So, we will divide both sides by negative 0.1. And the answer will be x is equals to 9.81. So, 9.81 thousand is spent on advertising to generate sales of 35,000 units. Letter E. What is the most optimistic sales projection? According to this sales curve, like what we did in the questions in letter A, it shows that 50 is the most optimistic sales projection. It only ends here. The graph only ends here. So the answer will be 50,000. How it became 50,000? Because in the problem, X is equals to 1,000 units. So 50 will be multiplied by 1,000 and then it will be 50,000.
Assuming you have already read the problem, let's now focus on the equation and the condition. The condition is if consumption is $10 billion when X is 0, find C of X. Let's first write our equation. Now, what we want to find here is the C of X. Our equation is in the first order of derivative. What we'll be going to do is to integrate this. And this part, we have to use the formula of n plus 1 over n. To make this short, or the shortcut way to solve for this is this. What we did is that the fraction we have is we reciprocated. And this will be 0.6 all over 2. Here we can notice that this can be simplified. Now let's go back with our condition. We already have our C of X. Now, let's go with the consumption is $10 billion. As we all know, C stands for as the constant. Since we have already a given here, we'll be going to make C as $10 billion. And this is our final answer for the page 382, number 57.